Hi there, this is Maneesh Vijaya from PM Pulse, and I have been helping project practitioners become PMP certified in 16 countries spread over 3 continents since the year 2007. As of today, the count of certified professionals to my personal credit stands at just above 22,500 PMP certified professionals. Being acutely aware that there are a lot of people, a lot of candidates who have actually attended Udemy courses, a lot of other courses which may not have been absolutely comprehensive, or they may have done it quite way back in the past, or they may be reading some books. So it's pretty obvious that a lot of candidates do not need a full PMP training. But they may have some weaknesses. Those weaknesses are exactly what this PMP clinic is supposed to remove. It's exactly what it sounds like. Surgical focus on some of the so-called difficult aspects of PMP certification, and each episode of PMP Clinic will take care of that for you. This is a paid webinar series. I have selected a total of 22 topics from the entire course of PMP certification, which people and candidates are usually confused about or a little unsure about. Each of these 22 topics will be covered in a separate episode of PMP Clinic. The duration of these episodes may vary from 1 hour to 2 hours and 30 minutes, depending on the size and complexity and the completeness with which we want to cover that specific topic. We are not going to cut any corners over here. And the fees for these webinars may vary from $5 to as much as $10, depending on the complexity and the duration that we spend on each of these topics. Each of the topics will be explained in such a manner that it will be very hard for you to forget. Not only that, it will be followed up by actual PMP examination questions for you to understand exactly how to approach them. These examination questions will not be as easy as you think. They will be having a different gradation to show you exactly all varieties of PMP questions that may show up, and also arm you with the ability to handle each one of them, because each one of them would have a separate approach. We will not leave anything to chance. And to top it all, just before we sign off from this PMP clinic for each of these episodes, we will also summarize everything in the form of the most important topics, concepts, and the most important tips and tricks for that specific topic, all aimed at acing PMP exams. Keep an eye out for the schedule and the topics that you are interested in. For that, keep visiting the site again and again. Just to satisfy you, here is a taster mix for the past PMP clinics that we have done. Check out the comprehensiveness and the completeness with which we cover each topic. So please understand, functional 100% operations, projectized 100% projects, and that's it. Perfect. Now you will find that most of the companies on the planet, they kind of feel, I think we should do some projects, and I think we should also do some operations, right? Actually, in the world, there are very few companies which are purely functional and purely projectized. They do exist, and they're very famous, but they are very few, right? Most of the companies, they kind of feel, we should do some projects and some, operations as well. And that's the reason why those kind of organizations are called matrix. Matrix is like a combination of horizontals and verticals, right? In management sector, horizontals is what is known as projects, and verticals are, different departments, different functions, or different silos, right? So a combination of that creates a mesh which looks like a matrix, right? 50% projects and 50% operations when we talk about matrix. Existence of both projects and operations. Employees report to 2 managers, right? Because one of them will always be the functional head. From where that employee actually comes, this thing called not. And so you get a lot of questions in PMP which will end with except. They will end with not. And suddenly what's going to happen is the wrong answer becomes the correct answer. It's as simple as that. So you are a project manager working on a weak matrix, right? Which of the following is not true? So of course you'll go for A, which says your team member reports to functional manager, right? You will also say that you are not directly in charge of the resources. You might even think that functional managers make decisions, which is right. That's exactly what happens in a weak matrix. But the question ended with what is not true. And a lot of people actually miss this. This is a very interesting thing that PMI does. They ask you, all of these things is this, except, and the people in hurry go for the right answer. But you see, you need to understand which one of this is not true. This is true. This is what happens in a weak matrix. This is what happens in a weak matrix. But this will never happen in a weak matrix. And therefore, this is the correct answer because they're asked for what is not true. Don't even have to remember. In fact, when I show the demo, it'll actually become very simple. So let's have a short demo of WBS. And the moment I do that, what I'll have to do is I'll actually open a WBS application for our child. And we are not going to outsource it to some kind of event manager or something. We're just going to plan it ourselves, right? So the question is, what are some of the major deliverables, right, of a birthday? Sorry, all of that is, sorry for my French, but all of them is absolutely BS. It doesn't really make sense, right? And you guys will actually, at least one or two of you will actually be able to tell me it's that simple. When do you come to know? When do you stop? Right? So somebody wrote as final deliverable. That's my question. How do you know that's the final deliverable? The major deliverables will be numbered from 1 to whatever they are. Then if you break down living unit to the second level, we'll say 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. So we take 1.2, break it down further, so it becomes 1.2.1, 1.2.2. This is one of those kind of questions where the options are not entirely incorrect. If you look at all the options, they are all correct. Now, this is one variety of questions that you get in the PMP exam where all the questions are correct. In fact, you also get another variety of question where all the options are incorrect, right? And then you have to choose the the least incorrect. Now, in this question, all the questions are correct. So you have to look at the scenario again and to figure out, okay, which is the most likely problem. Now, look at the question, right? From the question itself, you'll come to know that all the options are correct, right? It says, which of the following is the most likely for the real problem? All right. So guys, thank you very much, guys. Thank you for being here. To be honest, from PMP Exams perspective, you should know the PMP way because the questions do come on PMP way and there are some misunderstandings associated with PMP. Right, so we need to make sure that our understanding of calculations of flow as per the PMP is absolutely bang on. Perfect. Now we'll move on to float questions, right? We'll have some questions around floats and I will end the entire session with some closing tips and tricks. A lot of people actually miss that. So the steps of making the schedule are define activities, sequence activities, estimate activity durations, and estimate activity resources. Now, perfect. So keep that in mind. Do not confuse start to finish with the most common one, which is called finish to start. FS is the most common, but SF, which is start to finish, is the least common. In fact, it's not used. H, and its predecessor is G. It's going to happen somewhere here, and we call it H. All right, that looks like a good network diagram. And then we have another activity called I, and I starts after H, right? So it looks like this. And then we have an activity which has got two predecessors. It actually can happen after B, which is this right here. And it can also happen after I, which is right here. So what do? We actually make a place for another activity which actually comes from two places, B and I, which is what is given here, and we call it J. And you see, after that, there is nothing. So finish is after F, J, and C, which is this, and this. And therefore, we get our end node, which is the finish node, and that's how you make the entire network diagram, something that you need to practice. And therefore, H will start at 19. Now, if 19 is here, and therefore, what does this become? Perfect. Perfect. This is the kind of, see, look at your confidence, right? You will never go wrong. Now 25, if this is 25, this becomes 26, and therefore plus 8 will give you how much? Some people just wrote everything in advance, right? Perfect. So this is so easy, right? So that's how you calculate float. Float is of 15 here, right? But what is the float on E, right? So on D, the float is 1, and on E, the float is 1, because that is the difference that you have between this and this, or this and this, right? This and this, or this and this, right? To that question. Because PMI will always give, whenever they will ask you to make a network diagram, you'll find more than one question in the entire PMP, in that entire exam on that specific network diagram. Entire journey, then it's pretty obvious that for the 100 kilometers from Delhi to the rest area, I will take something like 2 hours, right? So with this kind of estimate and the plan in place, what I do is I get started. And when I do get started, what happens is I travel at different speeds at different times because of whatever the situation of the road is, and then finally I reach the rest area. Now, the point is that I've covered a distance, but instead of taking 2 hours, I've actually ended up taking 3 hours. Phase A and Phase B, which totals to 200 plus 200. In 3 weeks, we should have spent $400, and therefore the value for PV is $400. One of those kind of projects where you are doing badly in both. So a minus 100 of CV basically says over budget, and this one basically says that you are behind schedule. It's entirely wrong. So I'm going to create a brand new estimate, and that is called ETC. This is the brand new estimate with the new information that I have, and therefore the money that I have already spent plus the brand new estimate will now become my estimated at completion. 300 divided by 300, and therefore it becomes a required speed of 1. I need to spend money at the rate of 1, and I'm at 0.67. Don't you think it's manageable? It looks achievable, right? So this is something that I can actually put a commitment to with my manager and say, yeah, I think I can do that. Yeah, I can do 100 divided by 130,000, and that is it. Your answer is, yeah, one of you guys are right. So the answer is 0.72, and this is how we do it. Of the entire earned value, what you call rigmarole or a refresher, or let's just call it PMP Clinic. All right. So guys, I'll just wait for a couple of seconds. If you had a question, if you had an emotional outburst or anything, just let me know. Like what you see? Well, go ahead and register for the PMP Clinic covering the topic that you most need. See you at the next PMP Clinic. This is Maneesh Vijaya from PM Pulse, your mentor and guide for your PMP journey and for your PMP excellence. Thank you for watching.